My favorite thing about being an Orange Key is getting to interact with administration and faculty in a different light than just as a student. As an Orange Key, I get to interact as a student leader and as a volunteer.
Students should watch SHSU Unlocked because Orange Keys get to serve as the official ambassadors of Sam Houston State University. Because of that, we get to interview some really cool people on campus. We get to interview directors, vice presidents, and even coaches to see the updates on COVID, some really cool personal aspects of their life in SHSU as a whole.
People should watch SHSU Unlocked because it gives them an inside look at the university and allows them to learn more about different programs and organizations that Sam Houston has to offer.
My favorite thing about being an Orange Key is how professional the organization is. It is very much the greatest organization on campus, the one that pushes you to your limits and allows you to be the best version of yourself.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of SHSU Unlocked. My name is Kwame Almo, one of the newest members of Orange Keys for the fall 2020 semester. I'm here with one of my fellow cohorts, Josh Valentine, and today we'll be interviewing Vice President Frank Parker. How's it going, Vice President Frank Parker?
I'm doing great today. Just worried about a hurricane now. You know, COVID gets by us, and we're not out of COVID yet, but you know, now we got hurricanes coming. I mean, I like to say, and the hits just keep on coming.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt.
Well, a lot of people know Frank Parker to be the man who sends out many important emails, through our emails about what's going on here at Sam Houston. But we know that you do way more than that on campus. So tell us about a couple of things that you do here at Sam Houston that a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah. Well, some of my favorite things that I do, and I guess people would know that I do them, is my faculty recognition program. I've been doing that for about 30 years or so, where I write to graduating seniors and say, congratulations, is there someone who helped you at Sam Houston State University? And they send it back. We do it all electronically now. We used to all do it hand letters. They send me back those names. I send the letter to them, to those faculty, staff. It could be faculty, staff. If it's another student, that's fine with me. I don't care that, you were an important influence in a person's life here at Sam. Thank you so much for making this a better place to be. And so that's one thing. The other thing are all the areas that I supervise, and whether it's university police, housing, I don't have dining, but I have housing. I have recreational sports, the Dean of Students, student activities, the health center, counseling center, all of those kinds of things all report to me. And so on a daily basis, I'm doing things concerning those areas.
We knew that you do a lot, but just the severity of it is always never what it seems. So outside of school and stuff, Vice President Parker, what do you do? Who is, Vice President Parker?
Who is Frank Parker? Okay. Well, I like to read, and I read. I like to sit out by my pool, and I won't go any further in description. Just sitting out by the pool and enjoying the evening and all that with my two dogs. I have two dogs. I have a Maltese Shih Tzu mix. His name is Pepper, and I have a toy poodle. His name is Toto. Not Toto from The Wizard of Oz, but it's Toto after the musical group. I was a musician from elementary school to college, and so I love music. Right now I'm listening to yacht rock. When I'm not listening to yacht rock, I'm listening to classic rock. When I'm not listening to classic rock, I'm listening to watercolors off I just love, there are a few forms of music I don't like, slam music, crazy music, that kind of stuff. But that's me. For years, I was a football official for 34 years. I retired from that. Now I actually sit around the pool worrying about I have a daughter that's working on a PhD in chemistry. Please praying that she's not going to blow up something. So She'll kill me if she ever sees this. And so I have a relaxing life, and I live in Springs, so I have a commute. And I just enjoy visiting and talking with people.
So we know that you received both your Bachelor's of Arts and Master's degrees at Sul Ross State University at Alpine. So we know that's a bit of ways from Sam Houston. So what brought you here on campus?
Well, there's always connections. When I was an undergraduate student, I worked in the Student Center. I first started working for the campus newspaper. I was the business manager, and that meant you sold ads that kept the paper afloat. Then I became a news and information photographer, and I transitioned from that to working in the bookstore. And we had a new bookstore manager and assistant dean of students. His name was Art Lalamandir. Most people don't get that, Lalamandir. And he was a graduate of Sam Houston, and that was my connection to Sam Houston. He knew a lot of people here. It's my phone run. And he knew a lot of people here, and there was a position open from here, and he talked to me about it and said, "Hey, you ought to apply." I did, and wound up with the job. It was a transition and a journey, but I wound up being hired.
Something I've always heard connections are everything, but just to hear it in action is always something that's very nice. So with that, we know that Vice President Parker, that you're one of the few administrative people, I mean, maybe the only administrative person that's been here for over 40 years. So what about Sam Houston has actually kept you here this whole time? I know there's been many opportunities to go elsewhere. So
Well, first I'm going to tell you, I didn't know how we got here so fast. I'm looking at a couple of years retiring, and it boggles my mind that it seems like it was just yesterday I got here. And what's kept me here are the students. And I could always see us growing and advancing and doing things that were interesting to me. I started out as assistant director of the Student Center doing programs like there was no program council when I got here. We had 9,700 students, and there was no program council, there was a program council, but there was not like a Department of Student Activities or any of those other things. So I got here and I started as program director doing concerts, movies, dances. I remember, doing Chicago. I remember doing Willie Nelson and a live shot to the Grammy Awards. I remember doing Cheap Trick, just a whole variety of different people. Michael Martin Murphy, you don't know who that is. Look it up. On a pony she named Wildfire. Just a whole lot of things. And so after 6 years, I became assistant dean. 7 years, I became assistant dean, which was a promotion. And it's where I wanted to take my career. I saw myself being a dean of student at some small school somewhere. And again, Sam Houston kept growing, and being in the right place at the right time, creates opportunity. But I also say hard work and discipline creates opportunity. I never saw it as hard work, because doing what I did and working with students is invigorating. And it's a lot of fun. And even to the point where I'm at now, I enjoy that. I know what I do helps the students. We have students who work here, and they're a joy to be around. I mean, it was what I was meant to do. This profession found me. I didn't find it.
I like that. This profession didn't find me. I found it. That's nice. Okay. So I know that one thing that we see a lot going on in our world today is that nowadays people don't stay in the same place for too long, especially our generation. Everyone's always, looking for the next big move and going around here and over there. Like, no one stays in the same place for a long time at all. And so with you being here for over 40 years, what do you do on a day-to-day basis that keeps your spirit energized and refreshed every single day?
If I ever decide that I don't like what I'm doing, I walk out in that mall and start talking to people. Start listening to all that ghetto rap y'all listen to, stuff that y'all listen to, and pretty soon I've talked myself back. Well, I can go back and do this. It's just the people you meet, the people you have contact with, and that's sort of important to me. And so I've always enjoyed that, and that's my greatest joy. And so I tell people, if you work with young people and you decide, hey, I've had enough of this, let's go talk to a few of them. I bet you before you finish the conversations, you will have convinced yourself, this job is not so bad. I'll continue doing it because I do see the rewards. I do have students from 1980 that come back and I shock them and they'll say, do you remember my name? And of course I do. And I do, I mean, in 1980. Now, if you come, you younger folks, there's too many of y'all crazy folks. I don't remember any of y'all. That's not true. Yeah, now they have to make an impression, but I had so much student contact at first, daily, all the time. That was my job. And that's what keeps you, going. And it's been a lot of fun. It's had its moments, but it's mostly been fun.
That's, well said, honestly. So which kind of transitions to the next question. When you do have the luxury or the privilege of getting to go out and talk to people or whatever, like you can kind of see what the students feel. So with that, like, what are some hopes and goals that you have for Sam Houston in its future?
Well, the first thing is to continue to build quality residence halls. That reports to me. Northside will be just like Piney Woods. It'll be a great hall. It won't have some of the amenities, but it'll be a great hall. Delivery number one is to provide those services. A goal of mine that was accomplished, a lot of people, I was behind the scenes in the Student Center, but I've been through, this is the third Student Center renovation, and I wanted this to be right because I thought the last one we just didn't really work out. It was called, there was a show called Love It or List It. And that Love It or List It is you either love your house or you list it. And there's a guy that tries to get you to buy a new house and a woman who says, I'll rearrange your house, and you don't list it. And it's one of those home networks. Don't ask me why I was looking at it, but it involved a woman. But anyway, this was the last renovation previous to this one was a Love Or Listed. We didn't grade any square footage. All we did was rearrange things, and it didn't really work out. So I said, you know what? Before I leave this place, we're going to do one more renovation of the Student Center and try to get it right. And I think this year, when we opened up, I mean, the saddest part was we had a opening of part of the Student Center, and then the front section and all of that was finished, and the grand opening was going to be the week you got back from spring break, and it never happened. So, and now, with COVID, you can't even have people gather like you would want them to gather. So I thought it was going to be a wonderful thing, and man, we were going to be great. And so, but every student who I've talked to say they love it, and they appreciate it, and so I like what we've done. I like the bowling alley. I mean, there's a bowling alley, pub, game room, and the food stuff. I mean, I'm never probably going to eat Steak and Shake, but I eat Panda Express and Chick-fil-A and Subway. And we wanted a lot of different opportunities for students, places to relax. And if you'll notice, there are a lot of places to sit and relax in this building. And those are the kind of things that we wanted built in. So I think we did the best. I mean, if you'd have given me $100 million, it would have been better. Didn't have $100 million. Only had about 40. So we made that do.
So with just even that itself, we know that you've been a part of a lot of the changes and things that's, gone on at Sam Houston behind closed doors, in front of closed doors, like we've seen it all. But a part of that, we know that there has to be a lot of money and resources that are put into that for those things that to be put in place. And so if you had all the resources and all the money in the world, what is one thing that you would change at Sam Houston during your time?
I usually ask that question when we have those student exchange lunches, and I give everybody a hard time because they don't ask anything. And now you just asked me that, and I realize that's a hard question. Yeah. If there was anything that we could change and that we would be able to do, I think one, I would increase the size of the stadium, make it a little better. We're renovating it now. The other would be to be able to provide more large-scale programs for our students so that they could enjoy it. To increase the multicultural center to the size that it is now, it doubled in size. I would again double or triple it in size because I think that that's necessary. And to just increase those areas where students can relax and have fun and enjoy, being a part of college life. And so I think that would be it. The other would be I'd like to have a pool with a cover over it so you can swim year round. There are things like that, the intramural fields and, so forth and so on. It would all be orientated toward students being able to be active and do something with whatever you've given me all that money to build. It wouldn't be really about a building for me. It wouldn't even be about an academic building. It would be about buildings for leisure, buildings for fun. I mean, that's the way it is because, you're only in class 18 hours a week. What in the heck are you doing the rest of the time? That's my time to entertain you.
Time for just one more question. So my question is, with everything going on in the world right now, what is some advice that you would give us students about to graduate? What is some advice that you would give us about entering the world and the job area?
Understand two things. The 95-5 principle that I have. 95% of the people you meet in your life, going to be okay. 5% are not going to be okay. Don't concentrate on the 5%. Concentrate on those people who respect you, love you, care for you. That's the 90%. That's the gift that God gives you. And that's really, really important. And the same thing, applies, beyond people. It goes to jobs. It goes to different things. Because I can tell you, unless you just have a total tragedy, 95% of the things in your life are going to go right. And again, don't concentrate. Don't want a free trip to Hawaii. Go to Hawaii and enjoy the heck out of being in Hawaii and seeing things you've never done before. And then when you get home, they've lost your luggage. When somebody says, how was the trip? You go, oh, it sucks. They lost my luggage. You get my point? Yeah. So that would be the one thing that I would give you to depart. And the other is when you graduate and you go out and start making widgets for people, make sure you give back to your community. And I'm not talking about just Sam Houston, where you live, working with young people, working. There's an each one, teach one. Bring somebody up, mentor. You have that ability. And those are the things I would wish for you.
Yeah, awesome. Well, you guys, we've heard some of the best advice today from Vice President Frank Parker. And we just want to say, Vice President Frank Parker, thank you once again for spending time with us. Thank you for all that you do for Sam Houston, the faculty, staff, student body, our community. We're so grateful for all that you do and just even being here with us today. So once again, guys, this is SHSU Unlocked. I'm Kwame.
I'm Josh.
And see you guys next time.
Take care.